and you got the radius. Let's say the radius is 5, right? So remember, two very important things. The circumference is 2 pi r, okay? So the circumference of this is going to be 2 times pi times 5, which is 10 pi, right? And remember, the area is going to be pi r squared. You definitely got to remember these, because the SAT is not going to ask you something so basic. They're going to ask you a few more complicated questions, okay? But we got to get the basics right, right? Pi 5 squared. So 5 squared is 25, right? So you're going to write down 25 over here, okay? Now, this is super easy. Now, let's look at a related SAT problem, okay? So what they will ask you is this. You've got a circle, okay? And now they're gonna cut a part of the circle out, okay? Let's say you've got 45 degrees over here, okay? Let's say you've got, why don't we just take 90 degrees, okay? Let's take 90 degrees here, okay? And now you're given the radius, right? The radius is, let's say, 10 in this case, right? And you're asked, what is the length of this piece here? Okay, this is called the arc length. So how you're going to do it is you're going to take 90, right? First of all, you're going to take this, because this circumference is this entire length of the circle. So you're going to write down 2 pi r, which is 2 pi times 10, right? And then you're going to multiply it. This is 90 degrees, right? And now imagine it's the whole circle, right? This whole angle in a circle is always 360 degrees. Okay, remember, the whole piece in a circle is always 360. So you're going to write down this ratio, 90 divided by 360. And this I call as the circle ratio. You can just call it as a ratio, okay? Anytime you have this problem, you're going to write down this 90 over 360, or any angle you have, and that's going to be the length of this piece over here, all right? So let's calculate that. You're going to write 2 pi times 10 times 90 over 360. You're allowed to use the calculator in some of these parts, but here, I'll tell you how to solve this. 0 goes with 0, and 9 times 4 is 36. So you're going to write down 4 in the bottom, and so you're going to have 2 pi times 10 divided by 4, right? So that's going to be 20 pi divided by 4, and that's going to be 5 pi. So it looks like somebody is on, needs to mute their session.
Man, you fucked up my headset, dumbass.
I fucked
up your headset. Well, you took it out. We were going to talk to fucking Nino.
Hello? You need to mute your...
I didn't fuck it up. You fucking ripped it. I ripped it.
All right, so somebody is somebody was on mute here, so we muted them. Sorry about that. So so it's going to be 5 pi over here, right? So it's 20 pi over 4 is 5 pi. Okay. So let's move on now to a related problem over here. Okay, and that's going to be let's think about it this way. Okay. Let's think about you. Let's say you've got another circle. Actually, let me just draw it right over here. Okay, and then we're going to solve a problem right over here, and you're going to see this problem is super helpful for. Okay, so let's get going with this problem coming up in 1 second. Okay, so you've got this problem. Look at this problem, and now try to solve another problem. Let's say you've got another circle. Okay, and this time the angle is 60 degrees, okay? It's 60 degrees. And the radius is, let's say, is just 2, okay? So try to find the arc length over here. I'm waiting over here for your answers, right? I'm waiting here for your answers. Remember, you're gonna write down the circumference, 2 pi, whatever it is, and multiply it by the ratio, okay? Whatever the ratio is, this over this whole thing. Awesome, awesome. I got the first answer. Yes, hi, Salim. Nice to see you. Very good. You're getting more answers from our regular users. Excellent, excellent. Remember, you need to have a 2 pi times the radius, okay? 2 pi times the radius, which is 2 pi times 2, and then the ratio, which is going to be whatever you want to write down, right? So write down the ratio, which is 60 over 360, right? And then you cancel out the 0 if you want to. You can cancel out this 6, and then over here, right? So it becomes, so you can multiply whichever way you want, right? 4 pi over 6. So that's going to be very good. A lot of people are replying now. Excellent, excellent. 2 pi over 3, right? So very good. People are getting these responses, right? So be careful. 2 pi, okay? So this is great. Now let's move on. Excellent, I like this. People are participating, it makes me happy, okay? Makes it worth it. Now the same deal, okay? This circle, okay? Let's take the same angle, let's say 30, 60 degrees, and now you're asked to calculate the area, guys, okay? So remember the area is pi r squared. So, and now this time let's take the radius to be 4. So you're gonna get pi 4 squared, right? That's the area of this whole circle. That's the area of this whole circle, right? And now what you're gonna do is, again, write down the same ratio. This degree over 360, right? So you're gonna write down 60 over 360, right? 60 over 360. So now you've got pi times 16 times 60 over 360. Okay, and then you need to know your fractions. If you don't know your fractions, I've got a whole set of understanding just fractions and percents, okay? So that's coming up, right? And then you got 6 over here. So you're gonna write down 16 pi over 6, or you've got 8 pi over 3. Once again, these videos are recorded, right? All the people here, some of you are paying and some of you are free over here, right? It's your first session. So the people who already subscribe to this, they know what the deal is. But for those who are new, you can watch the videos, they're recorded, and every 2 or 3 days, we have these sessions, okay? So once again, this is how you're gonna do it. All right, so now I'm gonna give you a problem here, and you can see how you can solve it, and I'll wait for your answers here. Okay, so try it. This is a circle, okay? And let's say you've got this time, again, let's take it to be 30 degrees, okay? Let's take this to be 30 degrees, and let's say this length over here is 3, okay? And try to find the area of this piece. Remember, you're gonna write down the pi r squared thing, and you're gonna write down the ratio, okay? Remember, the ratio is always the angle over 360. So, yep, let me know what your answers are. Meanwhile, I'm gonna show you another problem here. Okay, go for it. Meanwhile, for those who can solve this, here's another problem for you. Okay, let's say you've got a circle. Okay, and let's say you've got another circle inside it. Okay, let's say you got another circle inside it, and this is 1, and this is, let's say 4. Okay, now the goal is to find the area of this piece over here, just this dark piece over here. So the inside part is removed out, okay? So try to find that area, that particular piece which is removed out, okay? So find out the outer area and then remove the inside part and see what the answer is, and then you can solve it. That's an important problem. Remember, you need to understand these ideas. Okay.
Most of the time it's just it. So what was this? It was one of
Yes, yes, excellent. Excellent.
So was it?
Very good. Superb. Okay, so you're gonna have pi times 9 divided by 3 over 360, right? Now 3 over 360, remember, zeros go out and 3 over 360, right? So be careful how you do it. 1 and then 12, right? So you're gonna have 3 over 4, because you get 9, you cancel 9, and you get 4 here, right? 3 over 4 pi. Very good. Many of you are doing excellent job. George, Likan, CG, of course, Jamisin, nice. Samika, Salim, all of you. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right, so very cool. Excellent job. Try to find this one now. What do you get? Try to find this one. Okay, try to find this one. Okay, yes, it's going to be this outer part. Let's think about it as an outer circle, right? And you're removing the inside part, right? So the outer part is going to be pi 4 squared minus, and the inside part is easy, pi 1 squared, right? And always leave it as pi. Always leave it as pi, okay? Never use that 3.14 or any other fraction that you know, because the SAT question is always going to have the pi in it, okay? So that's easy. And this part here is 16. You just move it to the front, you get 16 pi minus pi, right? And so you can easily calculate what the answer is going to be. It's going to be 15 pi. Okay, so if you are having trouble with this, remember, you can watch this video. Excellent, excellent, Emily, very good. So you can watch this video again, and I would encourage you, those who are having difficulty, to watch this video. Very good, George. Excellent. So all of you are doing this. Now, let me show you another problem here. Same type, okay? Another idea, okay? This is a very interesting idea, okay? Let's think about a circle here, and let's say you want to do something like this, okay? You have the center over here,